Hey everyone, Long here, and I just got done watching season 2 of One Piece on Netflix, and I got to tell you, I actually did love it. It's not perfect by any means, but it is very much like an enjoyable like season to watch. I thought the episodes were pretty good. I will say that there are a lot of issues with like how Netflix does like the 8 episode orders. I think honestly definitely could have been a lot more. Um, yeah, but I guess it is what it is. I will say like one of the biggest problems with like One Piece is really not the rave swaps. I thought like Charitha Chandran, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I thought she actually did a pretty dang good job as Nefertari Vivi, and I think like given like what she had to work with, I think she really did pull off the look really well. I do still, I mean, like, there's always going to be a place for the original version of Vivi, like in the books and then like in the anime. But I thought like this adaptation worked out pretty darn well, and then like I understand that there were a couple of others, um, including a few characters, but I'm not going to go ahead and discuss those because honestly, they really aren't the problem. I think like after like watching this, I mean like I actually like was sold on it. I mean, I know that you know uh, previous folks, including Nojiko from season 1, was race swap, but I didn't really mind it so much as long as the material works. I think that's gonna be all right. So the next thing I want to do is talk about what really does work, which is like the Straw Hat crew, and particularly Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy, who I absolutely think of as like my hero. Although I will also say like my chosen character is Sanji because he fights and he cooks. So being that he is the cook in the in the group, I would say I relate more to Sanji, even though like he's blonde and I'm dark haired. But as you can see here, but still, um, I actually do, like I really do appreciate Luffy a lot, and particularly with Iñaki Godoy's, take on Luffy. Luffy, and in fact, I don't even think that it qualifies as a take. I think that's basically who he is. That's who Iñaki Godoy is. He is Luffy as if he was written, as he was, if he was pulled out of the manga and forced to live in live action. So I think he's absolutely wonderful. He's incredibly talented. He's got a lot of years ahead of him, and being that he's so young, I think he's just got a lot going on for him. I'm just curious to. I'm really curious. I really do hope that like we'll get to see the time skip arcs as well because I think there's a lot of material to cover, which is exactly like which will eventually which I'll pause for on that because there's definitely a lot of problems that do come up when trying to abbreviate um, you know like uh, to abbreviate like a manga or the anime into like a live action style. And so we'll get into that, but I want to talk more about the crew. I think McKenyu really puts in a lot of work as Roronoa Zoro. He has a particular episode in there. There is the Whiskey Peak episode where he absolutely shines, and you can just like hear the gears churning in his head as he's going. As that episode progresses, I thought they did a great job, and I won't say anything further except Whiskey Peak is really fun town for pirates to be celebrated and also drink merry and hopefully you can still leave alive. So, but I will say Roronoa Zoro is the star there. Big shout out to Emily Rudd who plays Nami. Now, I saw like a lot of people giving her a lot of flack for not being as anatomically correct. But then again, it's like I really don't care so much about that because she's absolutely darling and she's beautiful and she embodies like Nami very very well. Now, she also the thing I absolutely love about Nami is that Nami's an actress, which Emily Rudd does that she is her steadfast dedication to the fan service. I think like she's just very much in it for the fans, and you can just very much tell Emily Rudd just gets it right, and I'm glad that Oda Sensei recognized that in her. I want to give a big shout out to Jacob Romero, who plays Usopp so wonderfully well. I think like this guy. I feel like he gets like robbed of a lot of like potential like story threads. I mean, like he didn't get to like have his like hero moment in when he was trying to protect Kaya, and so like and there's really not a way to like make up for that. I think like Jacob really could use a lot of um, definitely could use a lot of like moments, and so which is what I got from watching the Little Garden arc. Uh, yeah, so I think like he absolutely shined. He is very much a coward, but it's understandable. But and honestly, like when you look at it, I mean, like you see the progression, you see all the lessons that he goes through, and you start to realize like the qualities that actually make up a hero. Like a Usopp actually possesses, and that's something that I really did like about that. And so like I don't want to say anything further, but I think they did a really good job adapting the Little Garden arc, and I think that there was a lot of stuff in the anime that was just that had to I felt had to be abbreviated because like the anime is absolutely notorious for like stretching out an arc into many episodes. Even the fights get stretched out, and so like I thought it was edited pretty well to kind of streamline for this. And more on that later. And then last but not least, big shout out to Taz Skylar. His dedication to like Sanji, he really is enthusiastic. He's actually like my favorite Straw Hat, even though I'm wearing the Straw Hat here. I want to consider myself to be like an honorary Straw Hat because like the things they do are absolutely incredible. And but Sanji in particular is that quintessential cook that you need to have on your team to stay well fed, and but also like his moves are very fun to like watch. It's all like leg based, and I especially love that like they brought in true bluefin tuna. I would have not have forgiven the show for having like cut that material out. Of course, and of course, like the previous season, there were a lot of moments which could have been a lot more exaggerated. But then again, but I really did appreciate, Sanji, Sanji and how he was portrayed. Well done to Taz Skylar. He really put in a lot of work. So if you haven't yet, check out his YouTube channel. He goes through a lot, and I love the steadfast dedication that he brought in. I particularly love the introduction of Nico Robin. I think that she was definitely a perfect fit. Chopper is so adorable, and the next character the next character I was really excited to see, especially after that trailer, was Tony Chopper. I thought he was really adorable. I mean, like I don't know how a lot of people felt about him, and I know like there were a lot of like arguments on X about like how like this is how they didn't like his look at all. But I thought he was really adorable, and I thought he really carried himself well. Now, of course, again, there were a lot of moments which which I was wishing it would never abbreviate, but he comes off so well. I really do adore this guy a lot. So, and big shout out to Michaela Hoover for putting out not just the voice casting, but I heard that she also did she also put out motion like her physical motion capture performance. So however much of that is true, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go watch the makings of a series to like kind of confirm that. But big props to her. I think she's a wonderful addition to bring Tony Chopper to life. I love it. I just want to pinch Chopper's cheeks. Last but not least is Vivi Nefertari, currently known as known as like Miss Wednesday. So I understand that like, so I will admit that I was actually thrown aback um, when the actress that was picked for Vivi was actually a lot more darker skinned. But then again, like looking at it, I was like I was getting swayed by the setting that inspired Alabasta. However you decide to like word it, I think either of those two pronunciations are fine. I do I somewhere some part of me actually was sold on the idea that yeah she could actually like be from this region, and like I had to like think about it for a while, and then I realized like maybe it was a case that Oda Sensei probably had probably like only like like white people as his reference points, but then again like but at the same time it's like okay so hopefully she brought like Vivi to life, and she absolutely did. Uh, my words are not. I am not like Englishing very well, but that's okay. But anyway, I really liked Charitha Chandran's portrayal of Vivi. I think she actually plays it well. And there's a particular scene in the Whiskey Peak arc where like she does like a dance, and I guess like she had choreographed this herself, wanted to get worked into the show, and you know what? I'll believe it because like she has the body, she has the figure to make that happen, and I think she did a pretty good job. So yeah, bravo to her. Only thing like I really did not care for was like Karu, her pet duck, did not make it into this adaptation. I really wish that, like the work that they put on Tony Chopper. I wish they would have also been able to do the same for Karu, the duck. But I don't know. I mean, like yeah, which is like one of many problems I really do have with One Piece. I mean, like as I said before, I understand that like the show. So we're gonna get into like kind of the not so great moments, which is that okay. So I did not appreciate that they cut out like Usopp's encounter with Daddy Masterson, but then again, now for those of you who have not read the manga or watched the anime series, um, it was basically it was a segment of like discovering like perhaps like yeah, so that this was that man had an encounter with Usopp's dad. And I think like and now that I've taken time to now that I'm like thinking about it, I understand how that could have been complicated. But in which case, like they've taken all their time to like have to like put together an 8 episode order. But I'm sure that there was a lot of footage that was like that's still on the cutting room floor. And my hope is that like someday they do something like an OVA, like OVAs, like what they do with anime. I want to give special praise to some other characters. So yeah, the mayor at Whiskey Peak in particular is pretty cool. He plays a badass like Barry Sachs, and like it made me like go back into my band geek days, and I miss playing the Barry Sachs, but I'm pretty sure I could get back into it. So yeah, D E F sharp, all that stuff. So anyway, I thought he did a really good job. I was actually sold on him playing being a really massively amazing like Barry Sachs user. So bravo to him. The two standouts from the Marines are like Smoker and Tashigi. So they're introduced, like as like in the first episode, and they so they're both Marines. And each of them, but both of them have like also like different goals while going down like the similar same agenda. So Smoker is portrayed very well. I think they perfectly casted like Smoker. The physique is there, the look is there. He's smoking his 2 cigars at one time, and then Tashigi, she's that sweet gal wearing glasses who somehow is a Marine, and then you start to see how she got to be a Marine and got to be in her station when she whips out her swords. So, sword skills. So, yeah. I think they're like they're really great additions. Also, I want to give a shout out to Katie Seagal. who played Al Bundy's like wife, and but she holds her own pretty well. I thought she was a very wonderful like Dr. Kureha, and yeah, and she brings out that mom mode very well. Oh yeah, also I forgot she's on Sands. She also came from Sons of Anarchy, and then and then last but not least, I was actually surprised with the I was legitimately surprised with the portrayal of Dr. Hiruluk. I'm gonna go ahead and put his like. I'm also going to put up his active bio here because I unfortunately did not look up what his name was, but he did a great job. He was very much Dr. Hiruluk, and it was just a soul crushing like. Seeing his arc, but I very much loved. There were a lot of storylines that I wish that would have been adapted, and this is essentially the problem with Netflix, which is like it does have a culture where I'm not sure that they really trust the attention span of its audiences. I've been hearing a lot of things about how movies are made, like having to repeat plot points every 15 minutes or something like that. That wasn't the case with Netflix with One Piece and with One Piece because you pretty much knew everything that was going on just by looking at seeing it for yourself instead of having someone else repeat the same points over and over again. The villains were pretty cool. I liked Wapol. I heard that he had carried a lot of weight just to carry out that machinery, the armor, to that would basically it was weighing him down a lot, but to portray Walpole well, but he did good. He did a great job. I want to talk about the importance of live action adaptations. So most of the time they don't work out well. I think that there was like a rushed effort to like adapt a lot of like famous IPs like from manga to anime to live action. I do see the cynicism of trying to like cash in on something that on something that would be nostalgic to fans of those particular IPs, and I too see that a lot. I mean, I was wholeheartedly disappointed with how they massacred. So they completely massacred like Death Note, and they also massacred Cowboy Bebop. So I don't forgive Netflix for that. I think they totally screwed up. There was not a lot of respect for these properties, but when you see like how successful One Piece is, it really does become a bit of a it really becomes even more important to try to like bring live action to life. And the reason I say that is because like there is a market for it. Um, for those who are not really well read into manga and anime, as it is for like many of us, we've been here from the get go. Um, it really is. It's a really great entry point into like a world of like what we love. But at the same time, I do see that we do have a lot of problems where like the biggest mistake that people do have other than not involving not just the original creators to get involved in their own IPs when adapting to live action, and also not letting them to have creative control, which I'm glad that Oda Sensei was able to figure to work out. The thing that really is the thing that matters about like bringing an anime to manga and anime to life is trying to serve as a gateway for those who like. So if you're a casual and you really have not gone into the show yet or don't know what's going on, this is basically the gateway to do that. But do it in a way that but don't try to like globalize it. Don't try to sanitize it. And I see this happening a lot, like with with live action adaptations. They try too hard to cater to an audience rather than allow the IP to be itself. Like One Piece is a very wacky, very wild IP, which we buy into a lot, and it's like we live and accept with the silliness. I mean, like there's a lot of folks who are not familiar who will just say cringe, 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 and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? You didn't even give this a chance. Unless you actually see it for yourself, the only thing you can do is be some kind of Hollywood cretin and just simply say, yeah, it's not for me, not for me. It's like, yeah, you're too silly, you're too childish. It's like, no kidding. I mean, like, have a little fun. Have a little fun for once in your life and stop trying to like judge people like on things that they like. And that's a reason like why, you see a lot of like, disconnect. You see like Hollywood trying to be so elitist and be very, very judgmental. And it's not only that, but like sometimes like you also have, grown-ups in our, in our families who may say similar things. And that's unfortunate. So, but so rather than try to like appeal to their senses, or appeal to or people who are just who live outside of the world of manga and anime, like just invite them in through a medium that they are familiar with, live action. And so if that's the language that they understand, okay, then adapt it to being live action. I mean, but but keep intact everything that was great about it, and then just bring it to life. And that's really all that has to be done. There's no need for like any like vocalizing. There's no need for like any sort of like censorship. Just let it be. Just let it be what it needs to be. Just let it be itself. Be its own authentic self, rather than try to tell it to like dress up. Like you need to powder your face a bit, or you need to lose some weight, or you need to gain some weight, or whatever. Just let it be. Yeah, I mean, like, who knows? You might actually make a really good friend out of it. So, or you might actually find yourself a new show to enjoy. So, anyway, that's basically my spiel for it. But I think like One Piece is not only awesome, but it also delivers fulfills like that medium that is like sorely missing. It's like a well-made, well-executed, like a live-action adaptation of a show that we love. Not everything is going to get there, but for goodness sake, I really would love to see a lot of supplemental like episodes to cover, a lot of details. But because some of the time, like when it comes to abbreviation of material, if there are certain parts of that content that are cut out and they involve like a lot of character development, that basically or it's missing some sort of like context or gaps, then essentially like it really could like use a little bit more exploration, like do deleted scenes, do like like additional episodes, do some kind of format. I mean, like, because essentially like what's also kind of missing is like like I need to bring this up. I think Alvida did a great job, like just losing the weight that she started off with in season one, and then actually, and then portraying that post slip fruit Alvida, and I thought that she did a great job with that. So I mean, like, granted, like the power usage was actually very limited, but it did get the job done, I will say, and it just like it conveyed what it needed to. But definitely could have been a lot more. So, but bravo to the actress playing Alvida. I think she did a great job there. So anyway, that's gonna do it for me for my. I've gone a little too long on this review, but I just want to say thank you all to all you who happen to like watch this. If you like what you saw here, please do like the video, comment on what you enjoyed and what you didn't enjoy. And when we see more content like this, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. All right, thanks everyone. Hey, Luce.